Straight from Silicon Valley, 3 generations of venture capitalists and 1 guest judge equals
Meet the Drapers! Imagine that. They wanted another season.
Entrepreneurs pitch,
$1 billion lost every year. We were both wandering aimlessly.
the judges ask the questions.
So what's special about you guys?
Why will this stay on your platform?
But here is the twist. You, the viewers, get to invest for equity. This is your chance to own a piece of the next big idea. To invest in a company, go to meetthedrapers.com, find them in this week's Entrepreneurs, and you can invest. You can share in their future success. At the end of the season, the entrepreneurs with the most funds raised are brought back for the season finale, where Tim Draper invests in his favorite company.
Become an entrepreneur because it's easy to get money. And that didn't happen in Wall Street.
Let the games begin.
Welcome to Meet the Drapers. I'm Jesse Draper. This is my dad, Tim Draper. This is my grandfather, Bill Draper, aka Pops. And today we have Siri Srinivas, who is one of the valued members of the Draper Associates team. She's a killer investor, so get ready.
And Siri comes from, this is perfect because at Meet the Drapers, you in the audience are allowed to go invest in these companies because we do it through crowdfunding. She is a crowdfunding expert coming from Funders Club. We recruited her away, and she has been a major asset for Draper Associates, and now she's a part of the Drapers. So meet the Drapers.
Meet the Drapers.
Hello.
Welcome. You've just been adopted by the family.
Oh, I am the 5th child. I like
Yes.
to say in meetings.
Yes. Perfect. I think we should hear our first entrepreneurs. What do you think, Dad?
I think we should talk a little bit
what are we talking
about what makes a good pitch. Do you have any thoughts
What
on
is
that?
the perfect pitch? Siri, what do you think the perfect pitch is?
That sounds like something you'd ask your phone, but I think the perfect pitch happens even before the pitch is made. Very often, I think a lot of great companies don't spend enough time on finding the right investors. So I think the perfect pitch is made to the perfect investor.
I like what she's saying, though. Also, it's about doing the research and knowing who you're pitching. Because if you're a SaaS company and you're pitching a consumer investor, you know that's not going to be a fit. And I think it's important to do that research and know exactly who your audience is.
Yeah, and I think we see this a lot when people pitch Draper Associates. I think entrepreneurs sometimes look for the wrong signals. Someone responded to my email, someone accepted a coffee. That often isn't a very good signal.
Yeah, we do a lot of filtering before we actually meet with any of them.
We've done some analysis, and we at Draper Associates see thousands of startups each year, and we've actually reviewed thousands of startups. So,
what's the perfect pitch to you?
You know, I really don't like the term because what a good entrepreneur does is to first get acquainted. A lot of entrepreneurs leave and they've never asked a question. And I always think to myself, well, they're, not interested in what my opinion or what my attitude is or who I am.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. It's true.
It's actually right. You want to get to know the entrepreneur. And then they have all these slides, and if they're thrown off and they go, oh my God, that's on slide 45. Can I go through slide 2 first? And I say, no, you got to just answer the question. We keep going on. But the thing that really carries the day for me is if they're really enthusiastic about what they're doing, if they really want this to happen. And you can always tell whether it's like I'm acting enthusiastic or I really believe that this is my mission in life. So I always think, is this the mission in life? Is this their mission? And if it is, it's hard for me not to write the check. I have to have Siri telling me, no, don't write it yet. Wait till we've done the due diligence.
which happens.
Well, happens pretty regularly, actually.
Yeah.
I've been observing the most successful companies with us, and I've noticed that Tim has a preference for 4 things: simplicity, clarity, evidence, and passion. I think if you can wrap all of that up into a 20 or 30-minute conversation, then you've gotten.
Yeah, that's a good summary.
That's
a good summary.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I learned something about myself. Okay, so let's bring on the entrepreneurs.
But first, let's take a look behind the scenes.
My name's Cody Barbo, the founder and CEO of Trust&Will.
And I'm Dan Goldstein, also one of the founders.
Our company, Trust&Will, is building a simple, safe, and secure way to set up your estate plan online.
We started the company to help families. We've had personal instances where estate planning was challenging and hurtful within our own family structures, and so we thought there was a better way to do it.
So if you've ever heard of a will or if you've heard of a trust, we make it easy and affordable to do it.
And we're using technology to do it.
Well, welcome to Meet the Drapers.
Thanks for having us.
So give us your pitch.
Yeah. So
But first, tell us which one's Trust.
Trust. I'm Will. I'm Cody Barbo.
And I'm Dan Goldstein.
And we're the co-founders of Trust&Will. For Trust&Will, we are modernizing the $185 billion estate planning industry. And it's crazy to think that 150 million people have gone through this process with attorneys, taking weeks of their time, spending thousands of dollars to set it up, only for this stack of papers to end up in a filing cabinet or a box in the garage, never to be touched again. And it's in these moments.
Well, it does get touched. It's when you're dead, when you end your life. then
if they're found.
If they're found.
Oh, if they, okay.
Yeah.
If they're found.
Well, the lawyers usually keep those too, right?
Some good lawyers.
Okay.
Yeah. So when these documents, they end up in the box in the garage collecting dust, they often get challenged or lost, and it honestly can tear families apart.
And there's usually two inciting incidents for somebody to even set up an estate plan to begin with. Either one, you need to appoint guardians for your minor kids, or the second reason is you have an asset that you need to protect, a home, a business, or an inheritance of some sort. And so we've designed a suite of products, from simplest to most complex. All of our products are online. We have a product called Guardian for new parents, this 3-click way in order to elect legal guardians for your kids. We also have the Last Will and Testament. It's the staple of an estate plan. And then we also have trust services. Our business model is pretty direct and pretty easy to understand. Our customers pay us up front a fee to set up the documents, and then there's a subscription that we're rolling out in the fall as well in order to store your documents digitally if something were to happen.
So we moved fast. We started the company in October. We launched nationwide in April. We have thousands of clients. We've signed up a national life insurance partner, a national credit card company, and most importantly is we have a brand that resonates with the consumer.
Are they paying you, or is it free for a while and then they pay when they store stuff?
So we're adding between 250 and 300 new customers every single week, and then our conversion rate through the funnel, it's about a 15% conversion rate through the funnel to complete documents.
Tell us how you get paid.
To see your documents, to download them, or to order them online, you have to pay. And then they receive their documents, and then right now the laws are all changing, they're going digital, and so as they go digital, we're allowed to store those documents in the cloud then and charge a subscription to have them there as well.
This has got to be a subscription business, because you really want people to pay and pay and pay all the way until they die.
Right, exactly. So that's honestly why we're here today. We're here raising $2 million with about half of the round soft committed from our existing investors. And really it's because the laws are changing. So starting July 1st, there was 3 states that passed law to allow for an all digital estate plan.
Why do you want to do this? Did somebody die?
Both parts of this.
So morbid.
We can ask that question actually.
It's a reality. It's reality. For me personally, no, I'm happy you brought it up. It's reality. So for me personally, seeing the way that this probate court essentially affected my mother-in-law and the relationship she has with her siblings, they don't talk to each other than through attorneys. And for me, I have one younger brother. I love him. He's one of my best friends. He was the best man at my wedding. And I would hate for anything like that to happen. Luckily, our parents are affairs in order because, hey, we started an estate planning business. But it's something that I would never want to have happen, not only to myself and my brother, but to all the families out there that haven't gone through this process.
And how much does it cost for one of these packages right now?
For the current will, it's $129 for a couple and $69 for an individual. For the Guardian product, the introductory price point, $59 to set it up.
Is there any friction at all in getting people to use an online platform where they might have maybe gone to a lawyer?
We're targeting young married families, and their situation is rather simpler than a complex estate plan.
Are you targeting customers who are already thinking about estate planning?
We have chosen the approach from a couple different of our channels to go direct to the consumer. So we go direct to them on social, and what we realize is that we can acquire customers for a much cheaper price by going direct to them because it's a back of the mind process.
But that's pretty expensive for you to do that. You can't charge them as much as it's costing you to go reach them, I would think.
Right now, we are acquiring users between $4 to $5, and then our acquisition to customer is between 12
Well, how does it become because of the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't they want to eventually talk to somebody in person.
But no, Pops, they don't want to talk to somebody.
For millennials.
It's crazy. Well, I have a question. How do you know that someone's not setting up a fake will?
It still needs to be signed, witnessed, and notarized, but they're still required to check identification of the person who's signing it.
Who's the CEO?
CEO, COO, but we're in this 100%.
And who writes the code?
Yeah, so I spent the last 6 years of my career in custom software development. So as we were starting the company, we recruited developers that I had worked with, and then a head of product as well from an agency that I was at prior.
And how do you know each other?
Yeah, we've been friends for years. In my last company, in the early days when we were at a pitch competition, Daniel was there and he came up to me after we won, which was great. Through that, we became close friends.
You've got a really good idea here, because if you could cut out the legal fees, that's a big price.
By the way, our attorney who does our legal work for the estate charges $925 an hour.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild.
I hope this gets more and more complex so that we can use it.
Yeah, and the goal over the next 18 months is, as we roll out additional complex trust services as well, we will be handling revocable living trust to start, simple trust, and then complex trust, and also building out an attorney network as well, so that when people do want to speak to an attorney, we can amortize the cost of those attorneys across all of our users, as opposed to just having a $925 an hour for a phone call.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much for coming to meet the Drapers.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
this was great.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It was fun. It was really cool. I was a little nervous and anxious going in, but when you're around a family, it makes you feel like family.
They want you to have a good time, and Tim makes a lot of dad jokes.
Drapers are funny. They just have like a funny little dynamic, and you could tell I come from a family that's similar, and it's great.
If I was to do something differently, I would have just preferred a dialogue. They just kind of interjected, but it actually worked out better for us because the rest of the pitch flowed out much more natural and conversationally.
It seems like Jesse understands our business model the best, because we're targeting a target demographic that she fits under as well, as a parent and a new parent, or like a newly new, it's not new parent, but
yeah. We have a mission of helping everyone leave a lasting legacy. Legacy is one of these weird words that, despite what most people think, it's actually defined as the property or money you leave behind in your will. If you believe in us, go to our Republic page and we'll see you on the other side.
high five.
So, what do the judges think? Oh, wait, I'm a judge. What do we think, guys?
I think it's, so many things are going online. Just one more thing, and there is competition. It's very true, but it's quite possible that this could take off. I'm just worried that people who are serious enough about a will would somehow get a lawyer involved.
I think they're going after a great market. I think people are ready for this. I do know an expert system could do just as good a job for me in getting my questions answered as any kind of a lawyer. I do see this all going online. They do have a lot of competition.
What do you think, Siri?
I'm thinking perhaps I should write a will. I have never had that thought before, which is interesting, because I think they're targeting my demographic, people who are not really thinking about their assets. I should back up and say we love the legal tech industry. Hundreds of billions of dollars. Most entrepreneurs won't touch it because it's complex, and investors won't touch it because it's complex. So I think there's a huge opportunity there. And what TurboTax perhaps did for tax planning, they have the opportunity to be doing for estate planning.
They have a great name.
Yeah.
And brand is really important in this.
Let's vote. What do you think?
No, we're not going to vote. We got to go to the crystal ball.
Oh.
We trust
Ooh, I feel it
in
coming.
the will of the crystal ball.
Ooh, I feel it coming.
And,
I got it.
Okay, you got it? I got
Okay.
it.
Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs all around.
And then you go
whatever
which
you want.
way you want to go.
Do you want up or down?
Up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're always trying to be like interesting.
I'm sideways with a little bit. I'm like at a 60.
You're not very decisive.
I'm like 59%.
But he has seen a lot of legal companies.
I have.
But what do you think? Would you invest in Trust and Will? Because you can. This is the only show on television where you can crowd fund for these companies, and you could actually own a piece of the equity. So go to meetthedrapers.com and work with Republic to invest $10, $1,000, or nothing. Just vote for them and support them.
So let's bring on the next entrepreneur.
Yes, let's. But first, let's see what's up behind the scenes.
Hi, my name is Tao Trant, founder of Dermaclara.
And I'm Susie Pang, VP of Operations.
Really, it was just finding a solution for myself to help me with stretch mark reduction. Everything else that everybody said worked didn't work for me. So this is when I went into research mode and came across silicone fusion technology.
Silicone is just an amazing product, and we're so happy that we can provide it to others.
You don't have to be a mom to understand what we're trying to say or what we're trying to do. We know that we're resolving a real world problem, and this one I felt like, oh my God, I'm actually doing something that I'm passionate about. It's helping people.
Welcome to Meet the Drapers. Give us your pitch.
My name is Tao Tran, and I am the co-founder of Dermaclara.
And I'm Susie Pang. I'm VP of Operations.
So 7 years ago, I became pregnant with my first child. During this experience, everybody was telling me how wonderful everything was going to be. But of course, I had one problem, and like many others, 80% of the women out there, I had stretch marks. So having my own stretch marks brought back a lot of childhood memories. I remember seeing my mom feeling so insecure and unhappy whenever, I wanted to go to the beach, and she was just never as excited as I was. So that, of course, made me obsessed with finding a solution to treat my stretch marks. At the time in the market, there were so many products out there that claimed to treat stretch marks. Unfortunately for me, none of those products worked for me. During a discussion with one of my good friends who also happened to be a dermatologist, she said something that really stuck with me. She said, did you know that a stretch mark is a form of a scar? That led me on to a whole nother rabbit hole where I'm now researching about scar treatments. I found that a lot of doctors were using silicone sheets to treat scars. Of course, then I used myself as a guinea pig and I experimented, and I used silicone sheets to treat my stretch marks. And to my amazement, the stretch marks were faded and the silicone sheets were amazing. This was how I came up with silicone fusion technology. It's made of 100% medical grade silicone. What it does, it creates an occlusion layer on the top of your skin, which helps lock in moisture. And because of the lock in moisture, it helps promote collagen production. Very similar to what doctors are using today for scar treatment. And it's completely non-invasive. And of course, you don't need a prescription for it. After I kind of came up with silicone fusion technology, I go, is it just me? So of course, we spent a lot of money going to conduct a full clinical study. And I was so excited to see that 86% of the women in our study group had tremendous results after just 7 days of use. So
How
of course,
many were in the study group?
There were about 60 women in the study.
And this is a sheet of silicone.
Yes.
And it sits there, and all it does is it keeps the heat and moisture in there. Mm-hmm. And that somehow tells the scar it's time to go away.
We really need to keep our skin hydrated. Collagen production increases a lot when you have moisture in your skin. The silicone fusion sheets lay on your skin, and of course then it locks in the moisture. Normally it would have evaporated if we don't have anything to lock it in, because we put on a ton of moisturizers throughout the day, and we drink a lot of water, our skin's hydrated, but of course it's still not moisturized.
Well, wait, does it work on all skin? Like, would you put it like a mask of silicone paper on your face?
That is a great question. So one of the first products I created was a body pad.
So it's a pad, you said.
Yes. Yeah, we would love for you guys to see some of the products.
So, and then how do you just do it a couple of...
I've got a scar on my chest. I'll give it a shot. So I just stick this right on the scar, right?
Yeah, yes.
There's a little...
Gotta find...
There's a little
film.
Got the film.
Yeah. Yes.
But there's
and then it's going to stick, right?
Yes. And we measure the result after a week.
7 days?
Yes, we're going to wait.
So I'll just we'll just wait 7 days to judge this.
Yes.
You look like
How long do you
Wonder
leave
Woman.
the thing on?
We do recommend using it for 8 hours at a time.
You can use them up to 30 times each.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
What you do is after you use them, rinse it under with clean water, and then you put it back in the tray. You lay it upright, and it'll dry, and it'll be just as sticky as the first time you've used it. And you can use it up to 30 times.
Dermatologists will tell you that any kind of therapy or treatment is efficient only in the first couple of weeks or months, and after that they're scars, right? They're set. And you had the same efficacy across the age of the stretch marks or scars?
So people tend to see results much faster when it's a newer scar, a newer stretch marks, because it's red, it's pink, it's purple, and then when it gets lighter, of course, you notice the difference right away. And that usually tends to happen within 7 days to 2 weeks. Then the problem with older stretch marks is because it's already lighter in color. Some people said, well, I don't notice a difference. And I said, well, because the measurement is not exactly the same. It's lighter, but of course, you're kind of comparing white to a lighter white and then a lighter white, right? So to me, it's more of a measurement of how you measure it. So what we actually have is an app for people to measure their results. And we include a 60-day money back with every single order. So if you don't like what you see, send it all back, use, unused, and we'll give you your full money back, no questions asked.
What's the downside?
Downside is, you have this thing on, and sometimes people say, well, they kind of want a quick fix, something, go in and fix it right away. And like I said, this is non-invasive. This is something you do safely at home. You don't need a prescription for, so it's very much anyone can do it.
What's your photo showing here?
So this is actually one of our customers. She
turned, her belly turned all red there.
So this was when she first took it off. And when you take it off, it's like, just imagine when you're pulling something off your skin, it irritates and makes it a little bit red, but the redness is temporary and it goes away.
Silicone is cheap. You're giving it all away. How are you making sure that, if this really worked, how don't we have new companies pop up everywhere that are selling the same thing?
One of the things that we do have is a patent for our design. We are also building a moat for our brand and our SEO. We also have a trademark for silicone fusion technology.
And then how are you getting it out there right now, and what's the rollout plan?
So right now we are direct to consumer, advertise a lot through our the social media channels.
How much is this?
If you want to buy just our face, it's $39 for the set.
I was going to guess $35.
Good job.
$39, and what does it cost you to make?
I would pay $39.
It costs, we have about 80% margin of the product.
Defined as gross margin 80%, so it costs you $5 to make.
Roughly, yes.
Good, that's a good margin. And actually, it's big enough for multi-level marketing.
Never thought about that, but interesting that you mentioned that.
And so you're going direct to consumer. How much have you sold?
So Dermaclara officially launched in September of 2016. Company did $360,000.
For the first quarter?
Well, the last
end of the
quarter
year,
of
at the end of the-
2016.
yes.
That's pretty good.
So then in 2017, we surpassed $2.5 million. And for 2018, we will surpass $3.5 million. We constantly have the problem of not meeting our customers' demand.
How much money did you raise to get started?
We have not raised any money. This is our first time raising our money.
Boy, you are good.
Wow,
Yeah.
this is fantastic.
We've been hustling. This small company.
How are you getting the word out? Is it just spreading word of mouth, or what's going on?
So we started out by really using the product and talking about our results. We do have influencers that talk about it. We do some marketing.
What are people using now?
Yeah, there's using a lot of cocoa butter. There's cream and essential oil, like a lot of holistic stuff.
How big's the market?
The stretch mark market alone is a $2 billion market.
Terrific. Well, good. I think there are going to be some interesting.
So cool.
Well, I think you might get some activity from our viewers.
I think
so.
you should.
Thank you so much for coming to meet the Drapers.
Picture with you guys.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
They were so nice. They even put our products on and everything.
They put it on their chest and on their forehead, so that was We're really excited about our company. We want to share what we're doing with the rest of the world, and obviously the only problem that we've been running to is we don't have enough money to fund our supply chain, so we can really meet the demands of our customers.
We definitely need the money, but we also want a strategic partner and just people who understand and believe in the product to give us feedback.
I mean, every day, that's the one thing I wake up with. I said, what do we do today? Do we buy more inventory, or should we explore a new channel to market? I wish we could really just get to what our customers need and provide them with whatever they need.
We're all from San Diego. I know, we were visiting.
So, what do all our judges think? I'll tell you what I think in 9 hours, because that's what the instruction said.
9 hours? I thought I had to leave this thing on for a week.
Well, a week, but 9 hours at a time. Oh, I guess up to 9 hours.
You guys getting a good shot of this?
I think she's doing pretty well. I mean, both of them, they're doing incredibly well. If they're doing 3.5 million this year direct to consumer, that means no storefronts. That means their costs are very low. I mean, and they own their audience.
Their margins are fabulous.
They own the
80% margins. So
with no middlemen.
Right, they're going direct to consumer.
Just shipping.
They're using celebrities to spread the word. They're limited by inventory. Always a good sign. They said we're only going to do 3.5 million here
because they're limited.
We're limited by inventory.
But women will buy anything like this. Like I have friends who
order things
like this.
You look like a Klingon from Star Trek. It's kind of a nice
I feel
look.
like something's happening.
So Siri, what did you think of the people?
I think they were wonderful. I love that they're going after a problem that we associate with women. A lot of the research, healthcare funding, doesn't really go to the problems that women face.
I think they have an amazing product, and to say this will remove scars is going to be a major sales.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what
does the crystal ball say?
Dermaclara.
Dermaclara Fuse, their first product.
No, I got the message already.
Okay, so thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs all around.
Boom.
I think I'm up.
Whoa! Interesting.
I think I'm like almost up. they were great, and they're clearly running a successful business.
A fantastic business.
Great. Okay, let's move on to the next entrepreneur.
On to the next entrepreneur. But first, let's see what's going on behind the scenes.
Hi, I'm Han Mei. I am CEO and co-founder of Synocate. Synocate is an online platform for one-on-one college and career advice. Before Synocate, I was actually doing Teach for America, teaching high school math. I had one student say, I want to be a doctor, and another student said, I want to work in finance. I just connected them to my friends, and I ended up doing that with a lot of my friends and a lot of my students. And I realized that there is definitely a demand and a supply for this.
Welcome back to Meet the Drapers. Give us your pitch.
My name's Han Mei. I am CEO and co-founder of Synocate. When I was applying to college, when I was applying to internships and jobs, I felt super stressed out. I remember desperately wanting someone who knew what they were talking about to give me personalized guidance. And I'm not alone. 10 million people apply to colleges and graduate schools every year. So we created Synocate, where applicants can go on and instantly be connected virtually with an advisor. And we provide the tools to allow these advisors to help them develop their story through their essays or their resume and get accepted to their desired schools or jobs. We've helped over 10,000 applicants already, and in college admissions alone, our applicants have gotten accepted to colleges at 3 times the national acceptance rate. We recently helped a high school student who lives in rural Kansas. He wanted to be a software engineer but didn't have anyone to talk to, so we connected him to an MIT student who guided him through college admissions. And this fall, he will be attending Columbia University to study engineering. These are 2 people who wouldn't have really found each other to talk to. We're bootstrapped, we're profitable. We were founded in 2016, and since then, we've doubled in growth each year. In 2017, we earned $1 million in revenue.
How much do you charge the individual?
Anywhere from $10 to $10,000.
$10,000.
They customize it. So you can sign up for 1 session, you can sign up for hundreds of sessions. The $10,000 ones, they sign up for a number of sessions over a period of multiple years.
Are most of those overseas?
Only 10% are overseas. Most of them are in the US.
What is the median amount a customer pays?
We offer premium packages. The median amount is $3,000, but for our one-off sessions, the median amount is around $20.
Who's paying and who's making money?
So, the advisors. So as an advisor, you can just set up your own hourly rate. You can set up your own schedule to talk to, these applicants.
How much do the applicants pay? What's your margin?
Yeah, so we have about 60% margin on average. So we actually have the applicants pay upfront for however many sessions they do, and then we pay out the hourly rate to the advisors per hour they work.
It's great. I'm surprised you've done so well because there are so many of these companies out there. You must really execute well.
And some don't charge.
I mean, we have like our freemium version and then our premium version as well. So we started off, the way we were able to be bootstrapped is because we started off with the premium packages. We've been offering, sign up for 1 session with this Princeton student who is an international science fair winner. It's so valuable, the advice these kids are able to get from these advisors. And even personally, I remember when I was in college, I got coffee with a few people that I honestly never saw again, but some of their advice really stuck with me.
Are you losing your premium customers and going where everybody's going to freemium?
No,
Are you
not.
losing your, no?
No.
So both are growing?
Yeah, both are growing. So here's a 10-year life cycle, and this is our growth.
Looks like you've got a 98% retention rate.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
It means, at least for our high school clients, it means that if they're a 10th grader and they sign up for a 1-year package, most of the time they end up renewing for the remainder of high school. Even though we're a young company, we have already been seeing returning users because high schoolers we got into college last year have already been coming back to us for internship help.
What is your biggest customer segment?
Most of our clients are high schoolers trying to get into college. After that, it's college students trying to get into grad schools.
Do they pay a premium for special services because they stay on? They're going to use you for about 6 years.
They pay upfront for a certain number of sessions. They can use it however they want. Basically,
but why do they no one wants to pay upfront? Why do they prefer to pay upfront?
Oh,
it's great for you, but why are customers choosing to pay upfront?
We do tell them we can give them a partial refund, to be honest, if they're not happy. So I think they have that type of security. And also we have really strong customer support. It's actually automated, but also has a human touch to it. So every session is actually rated kind of like an Uber rating. And the moment we get, a bad rating, our case manager is pinged, and then she reaches out to the unhappy client instantly.
Why aren't you just calling it a tutoring business?
We're not tutoring because if you were to go on it right now as an advisor, you wouldn't be tutoring calculus or tutoring writing.
But I get that it's mentorship, but I feel like you could actually expand by also doing tutoring. It's the same thing.
Yeah, so we definitely did that in early 2016. We were also offering tutoring, but we decided not to pursue that because it was taking our focus away from this type of college and career advice. We have a lot of students who are interested in the joint degree programs, BSMD programs. They didn't need someone to help them with their science classes. They just needed someone to help them figure out what do I do this summer? How do I increase my chances of getting into such a competitive program? What type of research should I do? How do I win a science fair?
How do you get the word out? What's your marketing strategy?
Yeah. A lot of it is organic right now. We do blogging, we do events. We are also doing paid advertising, but a lot of it right now is
Where do you put your paid advertising money?
We partner with ID Tech, Zenit Tutoring. We have a radio show. We did, Yelp, Google AdWords. Yeah.
Oh, with a radio show, do you get some of your mentors to come on your radio show?
We have, yeah. No, the radio show has been great. We're still doing it. So you can listen to us on Thursdays afternoons.
Who else is on your team?
Who's the coder?
His name is Pei. So Pei is our CTO. He graduated from Berkeley with an EECS major. And we have a bunch of different processes already created. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, there are probably 10 counseling sessions happening. There's, 5 researchers working on things. There's 10 editors editing essays. We've created there's a lot of people actually who work at Synocate, but they're contractors. So yeah.
Terrific.
It's great.
Great. Well, thank you for coming to meet the Drapers.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Overall, it was a positive reception, and all of them definitely got it to a certain extent. I spoke a lot about the story, my personal story, and the stories of the users that we've helped, but we didn't really have time to get too deep into the actual platform and the technology we've created that is able to scale this product. Glad it's over, to be honest, but it was really exciting, and I'm super thankful for this opportunity.
What did we think about Synocate?
I liked her. She seems to have found a niche that she's very successful in.
What about you, Dad?
I am not 100% here because clearly there's an interesting big market that they're all going after, but I believe it'll be a race to the bottom and it'll commoditize, and it will be difficult to be the winner in a business where the margins keep going down. But boy, she has performed. It's sort of a surprise to me that she's been so successful.
I just don't believe you should have to pay for mentorship.
I agree.
It should be free.
It's hard to be critical about a company that's got $1 million in revenue with no funding. But that said, I feel like successful companies make services or products cheaper and not necessarily more expensive. They do make revenues off of premium products, but you fix inefficiencies by making things less expensive.
The education system is going to go through a whole change, whole renaissance. And so all these parents won't be at the mercy of the admissions office in 10 years. It's going to be a whole different experience.
I think you're very pessimistic about her. She'll always be ahead of the curve because she's that kind of person. And the future of education, I think it's just going to grow and get bigger and bigger market. So I don't agree at all with you.
And I agree. I think she's fantastic. She as a founder seems really, really great. She knows what she's talking about.
I think we need to go to the crystal ball.
Okay, let's ask the crystal ball. We all seem
and
kind of
ask
confused.
it about Synocate.
I'm not confused. I don't
he's
confused. Remember the quote? I don't get confused.
Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs all around. But she was really
I am really surprised by you guys.
funky.
She was. Oh, she's great. She's great. She's just
it's the market.
It's a short-term market. I'm a long-term investor. Okay, so what did you think of the day? Siri, what did you think of the day?
We had 3 women out of 5. That was great. That was fantastic. That's better than...
This is her clear. There is one thing that she's looking at. Just, is it a woman?
I just think that women founders bring a whole different perspective, look at different markets, have a different way of solving problems. And
They're just smarter in every possible way.
We're just better. Let's just accept it.
In every way.
It shows a sort of balance in what markets we're looking at. That's what I meant.
Yeah, I think we've had about, I don't know, 2/3 women so far in the season, but we'll see what the rest of it.
And this is only the beginning. I think there's way more women. I know Jesse only invests in women, which is fantastic, which makes me think that she's going to have better returns than, all of us.
Well, it is true that the women who do start companies are that much more unique. Since very, very few women started companies years ago, now the women that are starting companies are that much more unique. So, yeah, I think that's right.
No, but we're in San Francisco. There's all of you guys control the capital here, and you're not
You've got a
investing in
fund.
enough women. I don't live here.
Oh, you got a fund in L.A.
I live in L.A.
Well, I want to say I partnered with a woman, Robin Richards. We raised a ton of money. Having a woman on the team is really
And you have a woman.
very important. I think
I've always had a woman on the team since the very beginning.
So, moving on.
So that was fun.
That was a fun day.
Here is a question that we had last time. Of the 3, you have $1,000 to put to work. Where do you put it? How much to each of the 3?
That is a very tough one. How do we do this for work every day?
This is a tough job.
I'd give 50 to the first one, 50 to the second one.
I think I'd be 30% to Trust&Will and 70%.
Well, because you'd own a lot more of that deal.
To the stick-on thing, but that's only assuming that my scar goes away in the next 3 weeks or however long I've got to keep this thing on.
Based on what you know now, that's what you would do.
Yeah,
and I'd go 50-50.
I know with
that
this
one and this one.
I know with this one.
I thought you'd go 100% on the third one. Well,
I think
terrific.
we got to wrap it.
Okay. Well,
and we'll see you next time on Meet the Drapers.
Welcome everybody to the blockchain party. It's changing the world in so many ways.
Blockchain's everywhere now, and it's totally the thing.
How do you think blockchain will change the world?
In so many industries, banking, real estate, you name it, it's gonna revolutionize the way we do everything.
What are you most excited to do right here?
I want to learn more about blockchain because we think that's a good way to build a product to help money transfers.
Buy coffee at Starbucks with the Bitcoin.
I'm thinking $250,000 of Bitcoin by 2022. 50K by 2022. You heard it here first. It's gonna happen. Now, mic drop.
Meet the Drapers. Go watch it.
Live long and blockchain.